Hi guys, in this video we can talk about on how to solve the problem involving this Polya's 4-step strategy. Ang strategies made by Polya's has 4 different steps. Step 1, understand the problem. Step 2, devise a plan. Step 3, carry out the plan. Step 4, review the solution.
Step 1. Understand the problem. Read the problem carefully to grasp its context and requirements. Basahon ug tarong ang problem aron masabtan. Identify what is given and what is being asked. I-identify kung unsa ang gihatag ug unsa ang gipangutana. Determine any constraints or conditions provided. I-determine ang makinahanglang ihatag. Step 2. Devise a plan. Think about possible strategies or methods to solve the problem. Mag-ari maghunahuna kag mga strategies kung unsaon pag-solve ang problem. Consider similar problems you've encountered and how you solve them. Choose the most suitable approach based on the problem characteristics.
Next is to carry out the plan. And finally, we have to review the solution. Base napatay na overlook na step or na-overlook na information na dapat pa natong maunsa.
Examples. Problem 1. You have a recipe that serves 4 people, but you need to cook for 8 people. How much of each ingredient do you need to double the recipe? Applying Polya steps. First, understand the problem. We need to determine how much of each ingredient is required to double the recipe to serve 8 people. So, kinahanglan nato i-determine aron mahibal-an nato kung pila ang needed each ingredient aron atong madouble ang recipe. Second is devise a plan. Multiply amount of each ingredient in the original recipe by 2 to double the serving size. So, atong i-multiply ang gidaghanon each ingredient sa original nga recipe by 2 aron madubli ang iyang 3. Carry out the plan. Let's say or let's assume the original recipe has the following ingredients: 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1.5 cup of butter. To double the recipe, we need to multiply each ingredient by 2. So, for example, if the original recipe calls for 2 cups of flour to serve 8 people, so kinahanglan nato og 4 ka cups of flour. 2 cups times 2 equals 4 cups. This is because the amount of flour needed is directly proportional to the number of serving. So, ang ubang ingredients sad kinahanglan nato siyang i-multiply by 2 para madubli ihang amount. 1 cup of sugar times 2 equals 2 cups of sugar. 1 teaspoon of baking powder times 2 equals 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1.5 cup of butter times 2 equals 1 cup of butter. So, by following Polya steps, we were able to systematically solve the problem and determine the correct amounts of each ingredient needed to double the recipe. That's all. Thank you.
Problem 2. If a rectangle has a length of 8 units and a width of 5 units, what is its area? Applying Polya step. Understand the problem. Determine the area of a rectangle with given devise a plan. Plug in the given values. So, area equals ang length kay 8, then ang width kay 5. So, 8 times 5 equals 40 square units. The result, 40 square units, is reasonable given the dimensions provided. Answer, the area of the rectangle is 40 square units.
Problem 3. If a car travels at a constant speed of 60 miles per hour, how far will it travel in 3 hours applying Polya steps? So, we need to find out how far a car will travel if it's moving at a constant speed of 60 miles per hour. We can use the formula distance equals speed multiplied by time. Given the speed is 60 miles per hour and the time is 3 hours. We can plug these values into the formula to find the distance traveled. So, distance equals 60 miles per hour multiplied by 3 hours equals 180 miles. We have found that the car will travel 180 miles in 3 hours at a constant speed of 60 miles per hour. So, the car will travel 180 miles in 3 hours.
If a box contains 24 candies and you want to distribute them equally among 6 children, how many candies will each children receive? Applying Polya's tips. 1. Understand the problem. Determine the number of candies each children will receive when the candies are distributed equally among a given number of children. Devise a plan. Use the division operation to divide the total number of candies by a number of children. Carry out the plan. Perform the division. For example, 24 divided by 6 equals to 4. So it means 4 candies per child. Review reflect. The result 4 candy per child ensures equal distribute among the children. Answer. Each child will receive 4 candies.